Hello, this is Seth Lewis from Lantern Home Inspections, here to perform a sewer line camera inspection on property 2845 Northeast Dunkley Street, Portland, Oregon 97212. The current time is 1:28 p.m. on May 18th, 2026. The house is facing the southwest. I'm here on the west corner. Let me just pause the video for a moment. Okay, my apologies for that. So the house is facing southwest. I'm here on the west corner of the basement, actually the north basement, but the garage extends out, so really the inside of the home here where your furnace and your water heater are. Here in the ground is a 4-inch cast iron clean out. This will be accessing the line for inspection. I have water running from the sink down here in the basement. So I have the head of my camera facing downstream. I'm going to zero out the foot counter. Purpose of this inspection is to determine the overall condition and serviceability of the sewer lateral for this property to the city main. This goes out towards the southwest street, Dunkley, right under your driveway. I'm going to pause the video. I think the hot water is running. No, the hot water wasn't running. Looks like we're in concrete. Go back for a moment here. So there's the cast iron. So right about there, it's pretty clean. Right about there, it looks like we transitioned from, no, that's just sludge, so this is still cast. So at about 21 feet, it looks like there's an additional exit. That may indicate a non-conforming line, meaning the adjoining or the neighboring property, their lateral actually empties into this one. That would have to be about 23 feet. There's some standing water. There's no... Okay, at 24 feet, it now transitions from cast iron to what you see here is concrete. And as you can see there, at about 26 feet, there's a section of the pipe missing there. I cannot tell whether that has a opening in it or not, meaning a separation or even an offset. I'm going to come back to that. So you can see the joints, how they're set. Little tiny root there, 48 feet, that could be chain grinded. And as is common in this area, we're transitioning now to clay. And another exit there. Again, this looks like it could be a non-conforming line because that hasn't gone off yet. 55 feet, there's an offset, but you can see it looks adhesed to connect to the larger pipe. I can't tell if that's an offset or not, or if that has any kind of separation. That could be a separation at 55 feet. So at 65 feet, 64 feet, we have reached the city main. I'm going to have to go and locate some areas here. So I'm going to pull back. See here, as you can see, it looks like an offset. That could be a separation or actually an intentional connection, but I can't make that determination from just viewing it like this. Looks like it might have slipped or something, but I'm going to pause the video for a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've located that at 55 feet. That needs to be looked at. And we have some, so this is clay. We have a break in the line there at 54 feet. I'll pause the video for a moment. Okay, as you can see, the clay pipe, that's cracked. And there's also, so that could have been the cause for that offset there. That's normally clay's suggested to be. Also, right there at about 53 feet, there's an exit hole that indicates a possible non-conforming line. So note how these concrete pipes are joined together, and then note that right there. There's sort of a section missing, and that could be an opening, but again, there's nothing hindering the flow or anything like that, but that's going to have to be looked at too at 27 feet. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I'm back. I'm just going to pull back my line here for now. Again, another exit. Could be a clean out. I did see a clean out, a little tiny cap out there. That could be what that is for. However, that right there looks like an exit for an additional lateral. Could be for the house, but it could be also the neighboring property. Okay, this does conclude the sewer line camera inspection for this property. As you saw with me going to and from the city main, there are at least 3 issues for concern. Well, actually, several, so 4 issues for concern. There's an offset, it looks like, where the 3034 transitions at the joint with the concrete, or excuse me, the clay, and then you go a little further up, and then the joint at the clay looks cracked with some root intrusion. And then at about 26 feet in the concrete, there seems to be a section at the joint that's missing. That needs to be looked at. And then there are 2 sections of the pipe or lateral that look like they have exit holes that could be indication of a non-conforming line. So this does fail the sewer line camera inspection for this property. I defer to a licensed professional to do an evaluation of the sewer lateral to determine what actions are required, if any. I will have this written report and this video uploaded for you and your realtor review. Again, this is a failed sewer line camera inspection. Thank you for choosing Lantern Inspections.